Hello, my name is Ali, and welcome to my channel. We are back with Caller X Malice, Okazaki's route. Let's go.
You should probably steer clear of Okazaki. Now that he knows about your caller, you don't know when he'll report it to the police. I don't think he's a bad guy at the core, but he's thoroughly loyal to his SP duties. I don't think you'll see eye to eye.
You might be right. The more I thought about it, the worse I felt. Perhaps seeing my gloomy expression, Yanagi lightened his tone to try to alter the mood.
I'm sorry that we didn't help you more when we told you to cooperate with us first. I know things are hard at work, but do you want to work together starting tomorrow?
But won't I just slow you down?
Even if you're going to work alone, you're at a point where you don't have any idea how to proceed, right?
Yes.
Then let me support you. I'd appreciate the help too.
He's so sweet. I was happy for the offer, but I hesitated to take him up on it. Maybe that's just an excuse. Actually, if I teamed up with Yanagi, I was pretty worried that I just might never speak to Okazaki again. I decided not to give him an answer right away and left the office for today. When I went outside, the sun had long since set. A chill wind blew from the north. I really don't want to avoid him and stop speaking to him. If I avoided him, I was sure it'd only deepen his suspicions. He's not here. I looked around to check if he was hanging around the office. Okay, I'm guessing this is Yoshinari. Hey, maybe she's looking for you, sir. I turned around to a familiar voice. Yoshinari was watching me from an alleyway. Is that actually a thing? Oh no is? I don't know, I was looking at that going, that's so weird. I'm going to say oh no. If it is a thing, well, oh well. Oh no, she saw us. Look, sir, she's looking right this way. We done goofed. Yoshinari, you little. Man, I bet you'd look pretty sketchy if you fled. What if Miss Hoshino thinks you're a creep? Yeah, I changed his voice again. Whatever. He's not like a super big character, so if I change it, it's gonna happen. Okazaki walked this way, spurred on Yoshinari's goading. Wow, the wind is freezing. I don't want to go out there. Phew, that is cold. What was he doing? Yoshinari ducked back into the alley. He probably thought that he was doing us a romantic favor for leaving us alone. It's been a week. Yeah. Okazaki wasn't smiling. He watched me with a slightly tense expression. But he wasn't showing the caution or hostility towards me that I expected. Maybe he wasn't in a good mood, but it was still a relief to me. I have a favor to ask. I looked up at his quiet voice. Don't involve yourself with Yanagi's team anymore. Eh? I'm sure you've known this for a while, but my mission to protect Yanagi's team from danger is only a facade. My real mission is to observe them and report movements to my superiors. I'd suspected that, but it really was true that the police leadership suspected Yanagi's team and deployed Okazaki on false pretenses. They're a group of competent ex-officers. It makes sense to keep tabs on them. Because you're involved with them, I also need to file a report on you. That also seems like common sense, given his mission. The caller said that they'd kill you if I told anyone. It seems they accept my involvement for now, but I know that you could be in danger depending on how things proceed. They're listening to us now, aren't they? Yes. Normally, I'd have to report this, and the police would find out about your caller. Okazaki really had avoided telling anyone because of the warning he'd received from the caller. And now, he was telling me to stay away from Yanagi's group out of concern for my well-being. But I'm stuck with it unless I investigate more. I can't get this caller off alone. I hesitated, unable to answer. Okazaki murmured sadly. There might come a time where I'm forced to shoot you. Protection and surveillance is my current mission, but
I also can't ignore people who are working against the police. If that happens, I won't be able to protect you.
I believe we're going to say I don't want to run away from him. So let me just make sure. I believe, yes, that's what we're going to say. I understand. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't shocked, but I could accept what he was saying. On the contrary, I respected his steadfast determination as a police officer. I want to live up to that. If you decide that I'm leading things astray, then I want you to shoot me without hesitation. I'll try not to get any closer to Yanagi's team than I have to, so you won't have to report me. But I'm not going to stop investigating the X-Day cases.
Why?
Well, the conditions the caller imposed upon me, but more than that, because I want to. I want to solve them and fix Shinjuku. I want to protect the people who live here. So, I'm not going to run away. I firmly and clearly stated my determination to Okazaki. I made sure it wouldn't seem like lip service. I purposely gave myself no wiggle room to retreat.
His eyes. He's looking at you like, are you crazy?
The cold wind blew between us. After a while, he quite quietly whispered,
I found you. Eh? It has to be you.
Then he made that smile I knew. No, it was something I'd never seen from him. It was a brilliant smile. Like he'd found a precious treasure.
Right, I got it. You have the right determination.
But that smile only lasted a moment. Immediately, he was back to his usual lazy smile. I'd only sensed it for an instant, but that smile he displayed had seemed genuinely, fantastically happy. My determination must have gotten across. Also, Okazaki, I'm sorry for hurting you.
Huh? Why are you apologizing?
Okazaki's words had opened my eyes to the painful truth, and because of that, I'd learned something. I knew now that the real Okazaki was a very kind person. He helped me so much. I knew that it was hard for him to point a gun at someone that he said he'd protect. I'm really sorry for hiding the truth from you, and for making you feel bad for reacting to it the way you did. Okazaki blinked. He was clearly surprised. His face told me he hadn't expected an apology.
You're incredible. Yeah.
Eh?
There's no need to apologize. In fact, I'm the one who's sorry.
What are you apologizing for? I tilted my head curious. Okazaki looked up at the sky.
Aren't you scared? Not just because of the criminal's threats, but because I pointed my gun at you.
He slowly asked the question, as if he wanted to be sure I understood him. He directed his gaze back downward, until he was staring straight at me.
I know you're trying your best, but even I'm worried. Why don't you want to run away?
Of course I'm scared, I answered honestly. I'm scared that I don't know how to help, and that I could be killed at any time. Yes, I had always been uneasy and afraid of that. I'd wondered why this had happened to me. But every time I had felt lost, Okazaki had returned me to reality. With his resolute, straightforward determination, he taught me how to remain rational. It had to be because he had pride in his own work. As a fellow police officer, I wanted to follow his example. I'm a police officer. If there's a chance I'll jeopardize the investigation and cause more casualties as a result, then I should absolutely be sacrificed. I think that as a police officer, I need to have that conviction. So, I don't want to give up on helping out in any way that I can. Okazaki was quiet for a while.
You're strong.
Then his expression softened, and he spoke with a smile.
Okay, I understand.
That was all he said. Then Okazaki left before I could stop him. Bye. At least it's different from like Hakuoki. Even when someone like is supposed to walk up casually, it's running feet the whole time. I think it's hilarious. Little pitter-patters. He had completely vanished from the street. Yoshinari ran over in a panic. Run.
Did things go badly?
What a waste. There's no one who could do what he can do. Sure, he's merciless in spite of that friendly face, and he's sharper than he looks, and a lot of trouble in all kinds of ways, but apparently Yoshinari had misunderstood things. As I was unsure how to answer, Yoshinari stood up straight.
Miss Hoshino?
Yes?
I have something to say.
Okay.
I really want you to understand Okazaki, miss. He's probably acting weird because of his relationship with you.
Well, I'd like to know more about him, too. Please.
Well, about that. He's really harsh on himself despite how he acts. At first, I was surprised to see how calm he was all the time. He's got the willpower and drive to finish everything he starts, without exception. He says it's because he's a protector. It's like he always puts himself second and devotes everything he has to someone else. That's why when the shit hits the fan, he's incredibly decisive, though a little too severe. He never hesitates. I guess it's because the job demands that we never allow ourselves to falter. So, I'd have never thought it possible that he could look lost. Yet, he's been acting weird lately. It really looks like he's not sure what to do. Almost like his mind's somewhere else, and not on the job. Honestly, I've never seen him act like this before. Miss Hoshino, if you know anything about why this is, I was hoping you can cheer him up. Oh, and I'm sorry for getting the wrong idea. He was probably worried about something else.
No, that's probably my fault. Yoshinari, you really look up to Okazaki, don't you?
Yes. He's strict, but I'm glad that I ended up partnered with him. It's our main duty as SPs to protect VIPs, right? Some folks say that we only think of our VIPs, and we're heartless and we don't care about civilians. When I heard that and got angry, this is what he told me. We, the SP, we protect that which is special to the nation. We can be strong because we believe that we do this so that everyone else can live. Never forget that. When I see him, I feel that I can be strong too. I can focus on what is in front of me and never neglect what I'm supposed to protect.
Yeah, Okazaki's a straightforward man.
Yeah, that's why... Just do what you can, but please don't abandon him.
Maybe you do have the wrong idea after all.
Sorry to keep you so long. Okazaki isn't here, so I'll walk you home today.
All right. December 17th, 3:35 p.m. The next day, I was absent-mindedly filing some paperwork at my desk.
There's been another copycat crime. The suspect was just arrested.
We need someone to man the window. There's a line forming. There's a fire at the park. It looks like a copycat crime of the arson murder.
Oh my god, the phone's driving me nuts.
My coworkers all around me are answering phone calls. I knew I had to move, but my mind and body just wouldn't let me.
Oh my god, this phone ringing.
I was going to do what I could as an officer, like Okazaki had told me. See, this phone ringing is driving me nuts. I can't even talk. Can't even read. But all things considered, it really would be best if I joined forces with Yanagi and his team on this. Doing so would invite the risk of Okazaki reporting my caller to his superiors. If that happened, I'd probably be killed. If I died bravely, maybe the caller could be analyzed and they could trace the signal leading to the capture of the ringleaders. What am I thinking? I shook my head to rid myself of those fantastical thoughts. I was going to say fantasial. What the heck? I can't be like this. I stood up from my seat to make some cold tea and clear my head. December 17th, 9 p.m. Work finally ended. I walked home, stopping at an intersection to wait for the traffic signal. That is so loud. I feel like my head's been spinning the entire day. Yoshinari had said that Okazaki was feeling lost, and that he'd never seen him that way. It was probably my fault. I appeared to be a spy, and he didn't know whether to leave me or to report me. He's hesitating, because he's a kind person. Yanagi had told me before that the SP were known to overlook small sacrifices if it would further their mission. I hope that's not super loud on your end. But reporting on me was part of Okazaki's mission, and he still hadn't done it. I wonder if he's agonizing over it because he doesn't want to sacrifice me. I recalled how Okazaki had always watched over me and worried about me. Of course he had been watching Yanagi's team, so he also had to keep an eye on me because I was around them. But I couldn't deny the peace I felt when he was around, nor the kindness he had shown me. He had said he would protect me even while he suspected me. And while it might have been inevitable, I had betrayed him. The light turned green and I crossed the intersection, my breath misting white in the air. A while ago, when all of this started, I had stumbled upon Okazaki while I was taking a walk through Shinjuku. He always appeared out of nowhere and surprised me like he was a ghost. Eh? As I crossed the intersection, I bumped someone. With fleeting hope, I turned to see...
Stop!
Ah. Oh, it's you, Seiki. Out on patrol?
Yeah. Hey. Why are you giving me such a disappointed look? That's cold.
Sorry. I weakly apologized. Seiki studied my face.
What's wrong? You're looking pretty down.
Yeah, a little.
Hey, don't be a stranger. You can talk to me about things. Anything. Close enough.
Seems everybody was worried about me lately. I'm pathetic.
We're friends, right? We can whine to each other about anything, right?
Urged by his gentle tone, I complied, but tried to keep it vague. Well, I'm having trouble with a certain relationship. I couldn't tell Seiki the truth, but I did want to at least get somebody's input on the situation. I think that someone I care about hates me now. But if I approach that person, it'll be really problematic for them. So I understand why they're pushing me away. I know that I should keep my distance, but all I can think about is how I'm supposed to get our relationship back to the way it was before. It might be my fault that something valuable to them was damaged. But I don't want to give up. It's pathetic.
Are you talking about your boyfriend?
No. It's someone I know through work, but I don't work with them directly. When I tried to explain, I realized just how vague my relationship with Okazaki was. What exactly is it that connects both of us together? I knew him through meeting with Yanagi's team, and at first we had been cautious of each other, but I gradually came to know his warmth, and I was happy that he said he'd protect me. Maybe I was getting ahead of myself. I knew our positions were incompatible after all.
You're pretty stubborn once your mind is set on something.
I wonder about that. I couldn't quite deny it. Seiki smiled cheerfully.
I don't know who it is, but if it's through work, they probably have something they want to protect. Even fellow cops have things they can't agree on, but don't we all do what we do because, at our core, we want to protect something?
Something to protect. Whatever it was that Okazaki wanted to protect, it was something that he had always valued. His faith in the organization known as the police. He had chosen the path of a police officer to help those in need and protect people from crime.
I know that your sense of justice is clear. You'd never deliberately hurt someone or sacrifice somebody else for your goals. If this person you're talking about isn't a bad guy, then just tell them your feelings directly. You don't have to think about it that hard. Think about what has to happen for you both to be together without wrecking what's important to you. Nothing will ever happen unless you talk it out.
Seiki. No matter how much I was threatened, I sincerely wanted to protect people as a police officer. I wanted Okazaki to understand that. I would become an obstacle to Okazaki, destroying what he held dear. So, I wouldn't do that. I'd find a way not to destroy it. Not by keeping my distance from Okazaki, but by properly explaining things to him so that he understood me and my situation. I'd stopped facing the truth because he discovered my collar and then pointed his gun at me. I don't want Okazaki to be nice to me. I want us to walk the same path. Nothing would ever happen if I keep refusing to acknowledge my true feelings.
Your best quality is your guts. It's not like you to give up after falling down once or twice.
Yeah. Seiki clapped me on the back, and I felt myself swell with newfound strength. Thanks, Seiki. I'm going to talk to him.
All right. Good luck.
Bolstered by Seiki's smile, I immediately began running. Once I arrived at home, I checked the time intending to contact Okazaki. It's pretty late. I hope this is okay. It wouldn't be good if I upset him by calling him when he was working or sleeping. Most of all, maybe he doesn't want to have anything to do with me anymore. My hand shook as it held my cell phone. I couldn't press the buttons. As I stood there at a loss, my phone vibrated. It's Okazaki. I didn't expect him to call me at this time of night. My heart still wasn't ready. Are you going to answer it? Oh, I had to push A. Oh well. I pressed the answer button, took a deep breath, and spoke. Hello?
Good evening. Sorry it's so late. Are you okay right now?
Yeah, I am. I was about to call you too.
I see. So, we were thinking the same thing.
His voice filled me with relief, as usual. But I just couldn't find the right words. Several seconds passed in silence. Okazaki decided to break it. And I'm going to let you guys go here. I hope you are enjoying, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!